welcome to Around Kitsap. I'm Christina Bonney, your host. Did you know that there's a free aquarium in Poulsbo? Well, I recently had an opportunity to visit the center and sit down with their executive director, Patrick Muss. So when I first got here this morning, I was kind of looking around and I was asking one of your volunteers how many animals there are in an aquarium, and I said, well, I don't know, but I started thinking, now where do you guys, I mean, there's just, it's insane, because when you really look at, you know, all the things that are alive under the water, it's countless.
But yeah, it's almost infinite.
Yeah, I mean, it's just fascinating. But where do you get the animals?
Everything we have, excluding, we have a warm water tank in the back in the coloring room / early education room. Everything we have in the tanks is all indigenous of the area.
Okay.
So Colin and I, and that's the person you're talking to this morning, we go out and dive and we collect things. And we put them in the tank. So we have a special permit with a state that we have to log everything down. And some of these animals you see in these tanks are second and third generation. So they've been in here long enough to have babies.
They've procreated.
We procreated.
Okay.
And so that's a good sign. That's a good sign of how well the volunteers or the whole place is taking care of everything.
Right.
So we go diving. We go scuba diving or shore collecting, and we have another volunteer that goes with us, and she helps us on the shore. And
wow.
so yeah,
so even for the more, you know, like the eels and things like that.
Diving.
Wow.
Diving, yeah.
That's fascinating.
It is fun.
How far down do you have to go for something like that?
Most stuff we find is about less than 50 feet.
Wow. Yeah, that's toe nibbling area.
Well, yeah, it is toe nibbling. But you know, that's in pretty much the photo zone where light can go down to.
Right.
And that's where we find most of the animals anyway, is in that zone of light.
Wow. That is so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. I bet the kids are just oohing and ahhing when they hear about this, because I am right now.
Yeah, they find it pretty exciting. Well, yeah, a lot of kids are kind of oblivious because they don't experience it firsthand. They watch it on television or something like that. One of the things that would be nice for us to do is when we go diving is set up like a play date with kids. So Colin and Pat are going to go diving this day, and if you want to come and watch.
Oh, that would be
It would be cool. It would be cool, yeah. And have kids and their parents come out and watch. Yeah.
They'd take ownership over it.
Yeah, they certainly would, yeah.
Yeah, that's
awesome. So we hope that they will take that and take that further on in life. So when they go out to the beach, they recognize that this is a crab and you can't step on crabs because they break. Or this is a sea anemone, you can't poke it in its, in the center of it because it'll hurt it. So there's a little bit of conservation involved in this also. Now, as far as the schools go, right now we're in the process of setting up a program, and that will go to the floating lab.
Floating classroom project. Okay.
Floating classroom project.
Perfect.
We have 15 different school districts signed up on the peninsula. That's including the Olympic Peninsula and this peninsula. Wow. To come in and a school will bring, 40 kids up here by bus. We'll help fund for that bus ride, and then we'll provide the teacher and the technician for the floating lab. What kids learn in the classroom is we'll take dissect squids, we'll compare and contrast different types of sea stars, we'll do observations of barnacles. There's many different things we can do in the classroom. And then half the children will be out in the floating lab, and what they'll be doing is they'll be learning about the physical properties of the water. Temperature, salinity, turbidity, the weather, weight underwater. We have a small video camera that goes underwater out there so we can see the stuff we have on artificial reef, what grows out there. And we have microscopes so they can do plankton toes and identify plankton.
Very interesting.
But it's not up and running as of yet.
Right.
We had 8 classes this last year. But due to funding and some other unforeseen circumstances, we haven't been able to get it up and running.
Right.
And this class, the whole idea behind this floating classroom and the classroom back there is not to reinvent anything in the schools. It's an augmentation
Right.
for kids that are in the science class, in biology, marine science, that they can come here and they can be exposed to this kind
They
of...
can experience
They can
it.
experience it.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not just, it changes from a desk and paper
Right.
and pencil to, now the floating, now you said the floating lab.
Floating lab.
Now tell us, now is this right out here? And this is a separate piece of your guys'
It's a separate, yeah, it is a separate building, but it is, the boathouse is out here in the bay. A gentleman donated half to us.
Wow.
And we had to pay for the other half. We went in and stripped it all out
Okay.
of the boat stuff, put in a new deck, put in new cross beams, put in a whole bunch of safety items because we have kids out there, put in a bunch of stainless steel benches, microscopes, and to open it up. I mean, to open it up to a legitimate classroom.
Wow.
So
okay.
there's a hole in the center. Kids can drop instruments in and pick water out.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is pretty unique.
That's awesome.
It is.
And that's impressive. I mean, you said that, you guys are, it's not moving as quickly as
Yeah.
you wanted, but nothing ever does. But
Well, yeah.
15 school districts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
really something.
It is.
And have them all be going for coming here into Poulsbo and
And the idea is that once we get it up and running, it'll be 4 days a week or 5 days a week.
wow.
So we'll have kids
You
in
guys
here.
are going to be busy. Yeah.
Very, very much so.
That's
yeah.
great.
It is great.
Yeah. Wow, that's fantastic. So it would be like a day-long field trip for the students.
Yeah, day
Part
long,
day.
yeah. A whole day, really, because of travel time and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So now, right now, you are kind of the one-man show as far as being the only official staff member of the
staff
aquarium.
member, you're right.
But then it's ran completely by
By
volunteers.
And there's almost 30. We have almost 30 volunteers.
Wow.
So we have engineers, we have scientists, we have homemakers, we have students that are in school, grade school and high school or junior high. We have age differences from 12 up to, I think Liz is about close to 90
Wow.
volunteer here. And they come in on a weekly basis and do their 2.5 hours, whatever, help clean up, and then they go home.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
So out of all your volunteers, how many hours would you say there's actually of work is done on this center on a weekly basis?
On a weekly basis,
Just, what does it take to run the place? I mean,
what does it take to run the place? For the volunteers, it takes 4 times, that's 16 hours for the volunteers. And my time is about 60 hours a week.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's about 60
You're a
hours
little
week.
more than full
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Well, not only do I take care of this place, I also do the web page.
Right.
I try to do the publishing for the flyers.
You do television interviews.
do television. I'm involved with projects with the state for local dive maps,
Funding and
funding, and all,
That's a
yeah,
fun
all
piece.
sorts of stuff. Yeah.
yeah, very interesting.
And you mentioned something earlier about the place being free. One of the
Yeah.
reasons why there is no entrance cost to coming in this place is because this is for the public.
Right.
This is for education. Education is paramount above monies or anything else. So if we have a place like this that's accessible to people, we want it accessible to everybody.
Absolutely.
So if there's a sailor or somebody comes in here and they have enough money for lunch or come to the Science Center, I'd rather have them have lunch and come to the Science Center.
Right.
And enjoy the whole day.
Absolutely.
People do donate. I've seen donations range from $200-300 a donation to kids a quarter, a penny. The donations are help fund the electricity part of it, the lights, keeping
Right.
the place running, buying parts for new exhibits, but it's also a token of how well we are doing
right.
serving the community.
Absolutely.
So if we have docents that spend an extraordinary amount of time with people, and those people, they generally 99.99% of the chance to appreciate it,
Right.
then they will give a larger donation.
Right.
Or they will give a heartfelt donation.
Right.
Versus somebody walking in and wanting to use the restroom and leaving a quarter in the box and wandering out, which happens too.
Which happens too. Which
does
yeah,
happen.
yeah. At least they're using the restroom and yeah.
So the
exactly.
idea is they have it accessible to everybody.
Now you guys have so many programs. I mean, we talked about a couple that you have here at the aquarium. But what else? I'm sure that you've got.
Well, we're in the process of, I'm in the process. with help from people, of lining up guest speakers. We had John Williams. He's involved in public television.
Okay.
We had him a couple weeks ago. We just had a young lady from the Extension Service from the University of Washington, the Coast program. They check out dead birds along the shoreline and keep data on that. We've had the Beach Watchers group come in. They're part of the Extension Service out of UW.
Okay.
They've held classes in here. So and there's been a couple more. So the whole idea is people like coming to an aquarium and looking at the exhibits, but people also like coming to an aquarium and learning about things.
Right.
And being part of having those lessons within the community.
Right.
Versus having to go to Seattle or some other place or watch on YouTube or something.
Yeah.
You know, it will be accessible. Excuse me, accessible.
Yeah. Well, it's
to everybody.
fantastic. I mean, I'm going to bring I'm going to get a group of friends and
please
come
do.
out and do lunch and
There's a
come to the
donation
center.
box, too.
And there's a donation box by the door. Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. I love it.
One thing we do not do, we do not have birthday parties here. Because we just don't have the staff to do that.
Oh, I bet kids want to do that. Yeah.
They do, and in the olden times, they used to have birthday parties, but they had somebody specifically hired to do that.
Okay.
And the board feel that it is just out of our realm of education to hold birthday parties.
Right.
There's, kids come out here and learn something, but it's
an education center, and
it is an education center. It's not a
Well, and it's very, part of accessible. I mean, it's literally accessible. I mean, as we're sitting here talking, there's a crab right here, eating away at his morning breakfast, and so it's. I was joking around about falling backwards into the
cold
tank,
water.
which we're hoping that doesn't happen, but so it's hard to imagine, too much. The activity needs to be controlled.
But we do have
to respect the animals.
In the springtime and early summer, we do have preschool programs. And we get preschools from around the county. They want to come in here and bring in their thousands of little kids.
Yeah.
Then there's protocols for that. They have to give us a heads up in advance, and we have to make
a
sure
certain amount of adults.
Adults, right, and also volunteers, and they have to pick up after themselves. But those seem to be, they're a learning adventure for the child, and for the people that come in with them. But it's important to have that kind of program going on.
Right. Fantastic.
But it can be hard because of volunteer time.
Right.
Yeah.
Tell me about Sam. I read about Sam on your website. Speaking of the website, Doctor, one of your many things, but I was on there this morning and I was reading about this amazing octopus that was here for a year?
A year. He came in last Viking Fest, so that would have been not this last May, but May before last, the 17th. And he came in weighing about 2 or 3 pounds. And when he left here, he weighed 55 pounds.
Oh my gosh.
And he was a little bit, about 12 foot across from, I can't say stem to stern, but from tip to tip.
Wow.
He was a very good learning tool for visitors. And for me, he was we will get another. We have a small one now, but it's a different species.
Right.
But we will get another one.
Well, good. Well, we're going to actually look around the aquarium, but before I wrap this part of our segment up, do you have anything else you wanted to add? Or?
Well, I'm hoping people will find this place. We've been open for almost 2 years, well, a year and a half. So we're here. We'll be here for a while.
Great. Fantastic.
At least 5, 6 years,
Good.
Yeah.
We got the building for 15, right?
Yeah.
We like
Piece
it.
of cake.
Well, thank you, Patrick. Let's look around the aquarium and we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to the Marine Science Center. We're here actually standing outside of the first big exhibit when you walk in, and it's called the Tide Pool.
Tide Pool. And
Patrick is actually going to show us some of the creatures. We've been touching them a little bit and Talk to me about this this tide pool.
We've got various sorts of sea stars and sea anemones.
Uh-huh.
You got a California sea cucumber
Oh,
that's
Which-
kind of is
trying to find his way.
deflated right now. It's a defense mechanism where he becomes kind of limp and stuff.
Oh, okay. And so he's actually really hard to pick up right now.
Yes, yes.
Because he's kind of a heavy guy?
When he's full of water.
Okay.
Certainly is, yeah.
All right.
When
Interesting.
When he voids all his water, he's pretty light.
Okay.
It's kind of like life
Kind
in
of a
general.
weird, yeah, exactly.
We got sea anemones in here. This is a painted sea anemone.
Yeah. And what is that one called?
Painted sea anemone.
Wow. I mean, I was just admiring the colors on that guy. Are
We have
unbelievable. Oh, look
A
at
leather,
that.
a leather,
Oh!
a leather star.
Can I touch it?
Yeah, 2 fingers.
Wow. Oh my gosh. So they're so interesting because he's hard,
He's hard.
but he's soft.
soft.
He's got this soft coating, and then he's very
Hard.
substantial.
And he's an exoskeleton.
Uh-huh.
His stomach is right here,
Uh-huh.
and these are his legs.
Okay. And so how does he get a
Sustenance.
hold of his food?
He will take, this kind eats barnacles, but a regular sea star will take a clam,
Uh-huh.
open it up, his stomach comes out from him.
Whoa.
It goes inside the clam, so if the opening is just a little bit, he can put his stomach inside that clam and digest the food and bring his stomach back in him, and then he leaves the shell.
Wow.
And it,
Now, if we all had to work that hard for our food, we wouldn't have as many issues.
yes, certainly.
That's so
But they
funny.
can go through a lot of clam. I mean, they're so adept at it, and they've been doing it for so long. that
Right.
It gets pretty quick.
Wow. Wow. Okay. And then there's tons of crabs in here.
Lots of,
Tell me what else you want to show us in this. Now, there is a starfish of every color of the rainbow, and then colors maybe that don't even exist in the rainbow in here. I mean, it's just unbelievable.
we have a small spot prawn down there.
Oh,
So that's
I
a
see
shrimp?
him. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, he's a big guy. Or maybe he's a small guy.
He's a big guy.
Okay.
Yeah. The more anemones. There's a lot of small tide pool sculpins in here. They hide, the reason why you can't see them is because they hide really well betwixt the rocks and underneath the
Awesome.
seaweed.
Perfect.
And over here you can see, going back to our animals reproducing, you can see a batch of eggs right down there.
Oh my gosh, is that the green?
The green little emerald.
It's like turquoise.
Right. Yeah.
Wow. Do we know what whose
Sculpin.
eggs they are?
From a sculpin.
And what? Now, which is that?
Those are the little small fish that are swimming around. that you
Okay.
can't see.
Wow. And do
They're
they
hiding
watch
very
their eggs or?
No, they don't. They lay them. There'll be a female. The female is relatively large compared to the males. So the males will vie for attention. And then she'll lay her eggs and they'll do what they've got to do and then they'll all disperse.
Wow. And then there are some big sea anemones in
See,
here.
yeah.
That was my favorite thing when I was a little kid, and I have to admit I poked them, so I won't do
So
that
don't-
anymore.
two
I was
fing-
hurting
two
them.
fingers.
Always 2 fingers and not in the middle. Okay.
Not in the middle, and don't rip off their tentacles because
They would need those.
A lot.
Right. Awesome. And then I know that we've got the little octopus
Right.
ready to look at that. So we'll be right back and we'll look at the octopus. So Patrick, we're here with the newest edition, right?
the newest edition.
An
certainly.
octopus, and it's a little guy. I think you told me
Yeah,
earlier.
but it's an adult.
Okay, and what's his, yeah, little guy. It's a grown guy.
And he is an adult. He's a red octopus, or rubescens.
Okay,
So they get to be about 12 to 15 inches across.
uh-huh,
And they, like the larger octopus, only mate once. They have the whole same kind of life cycle.
okay, about
He-
4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's
He's a little scared right now.
a little scared.
We've moved him around.
And you see him change color.
Yeah,
He has photochromatic cells underneath his skin that he can change color for camouflage.
wow.
And to protect himself, he also carries ink.
Okay,
The ink is kind of a reddish brown color, which he changes into. So when he squirts out the ink, the other animal thinks that it is the octopus, so it goes after the ink while he
Okay.
changes color and goes off and hides.
fascinating.
It is. It's pretty
so
cool.
it's a decoy.
It's a decoy, yeah. In essence, yeah.
Wow. Now, what's his name?
He
These guys
does
all
not have a
names.
name.
Oh.
I don't know if he will ever get a name.
Oh, we're gonna have to name him. No, I thought that was so interesting. I was watching you put him in here, and you put this rock in here to kind of make him feel a little bit more at home. Is that right?
Right.
And he swam right up to this rock, and he held on to it. It was something. Oh my gosh.
So he's pretty quick, pretty agile. See him change color,
Oh my gosh. Look at him.
and he wants to go back into the water.
Oh my gosh. How fascinating. Oh.
See how fast he changes color?
Wow.
It is just amazing.
Oh my gosh.
And he eats crabs, small crustaceans. He'll eat copepods, which are smaller crustaceans. He'll eat open shells up, mussels.
Oh my gosh.
And he'll also digest those.
So now, and I just can't believe it. Like when you explained to me that they have eyes like humans, that
Human
really
eyes.
hit home. Because when I looked at him, that's exactly. I mean, it's really interesting.
He has camera-like eyes, just like our eyes.
Now, how big are the crabs that he eats? I mean, are these just these little
are
itty guys?
little short
Okay.
crabs that I
Yeah.
pick up off the beach.
Okay.
The other octopus, Sam, would eat red rock
Big
crabs
old-
that are pretty big.
They eat the ones that humans eat. Okay. Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah, so he is pretty. Yeah, he's about a year and a half, 2 years old.
God, that was so cool.
The Poulsbo Marine Science Center is located on Front Street in downtown Poulsbo. You can check out their website at www.poulsbomsc.org for more information. Thank you for joining us. That's our show for today. We'll see you next time on Around Kitsap.